So tonight we're going to talk about how to transform trauma into leadership wisdom. I want to begin though by inviting you all to come back with me into that moment when Hurricane Helene happened. So picture this, you're standing in your home office and you're watching through the window as 100-mile-per-hour winds tear through your neighborhood. That was me during Hurricane Helene in September of 2024. In fact, it was exactly 6 months ago. Today, it was September 27th. What I did not know then was that that crisis wasn't happening to me. It was happening for me. That hurricane became my greatest teacher about trauma, resilience, and the raw power of hope. We do not need a natural disaster to experience trauma in business. Sometimes it's a failed launch or a lost client or a partnership that crumbles overnight. So I want you to do something with me right now. I want you to think about, if you're in business, your most recent business crisis, or if you're a leader in some kind of situation, a situation that you had recently that was challenging. Maybe it was last week or last month or even this morning. And as that moment comes to mind, notice what's happening in your body. Is your throat tightening? Are your shoulders tensing? Is your stomach churning? Now identify one word that captures how you typically respond when you have that kind of unexpected challenge hit your business or your life. And if you have something to write with, write that word down. By a show of hands, how many of you all have faced a situation in the past year where you wish you had better tools for managing a traumatic event? Yeah, okay. So you're not alone. A lot of us who are here have faced our own version of a hurricane. But here's what I learned from mine. Trauma recovery isn't just about surviving. It's about emerging stronger and wiser and more capable than before. So today, as a nationally certified trauma chaplain with over 25 years of experience and the author of The Deep End of Hope in the Wake of Hurricane Helene, and the creator of a trauma recovery certification program, I am here to show you how your challenges, your personal hurricanes, can become the foundation of your greatest leadership wisdom. And that starts when you learn how to process your trauma in real time. So let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a meeting or kind of a high stakes situation, and you suddenly realize that your heart is racing so fast that you can barely focus on the conversation? What you're experiencing in that moment isn't just a stress, it's your body's very sophisticated survival system in action. And here's the really interesting part. It's the same system that can make you freeze before a crucial experience. It can also become a secret weapon for you in your leadership. So I want to share with you two powerful tools that have transformed how my clients handle different crisis situations. But first, I want to do a quick check-in. Right now in this moment, where do you typically feel stress first in your body? So is it tension in your shoulders? Is it a knot in your stomach? Is it a throbbing in your head? So just take a moment to tune in and locate, where does that tension show up first? For me, it's always in my head. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, mentally rate your current stress level. So 5 is kind of stressed, kind of not. 7 is very stressed. And remember that number. Okay, I'm going to show you the first tool, and this is called the 90-second reset. And it's based on groundbreaking neuroscience that shows stress chemicals take exactly 90 seconds to flush through your system. So think about that. In just 90 seconds, you can move from where you are right now, a 5 or a 7 or whatever that is, into a place of clear decision-making. So we're going to do it together. And we're going to do that in 3 30-second cycles. So I'm going to guide you through each one. So for the first cycle, close your eyes if you're comfortable. Then I want you to take a deep breath in for 4 counts, hold for 4, release for 4. Okay, we're going to do that again. And this time I want you to focus on that part of your body that's feeling tense. So in for 4, hold for 4, release for 4. And we're going to do it one more time. First, check in with your body, see where you're feeling the tension, focus on that area. Breathe in for 4, hold for 4, release for 4. All right, now check in again and rate your stress level on a scale of 1 to 10. What's your number? And did anyone notice a difference after breathing?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so that's, if you need a quick, you've only got a minute or 2 before you have to go into your next situation, that's a great way to help your body to calm down. So that's called the 90-second reset tool. And then I want to give you one more tool, which is really lovely. So it's called a quick self-assessment checklist. And it's a 60-second diagnostic tool. So again, it's very fast, but it helps you to get your grounding back, get your center back. And you can use it anytime to gauge where you are on the stress to trauma spectrum. So I want you to use your fingers to count. I'm going to walk you through 6 checkpoints. So hold a finger up for each one that feels true for you right now and keep it up. So here's the first checkpoint. Are you taking longer than usual to respond to important emails or messages? Put a finger up if that's true for you. And hold it there. Here's the second checkpoint. Have your team meetings become shorter or more tense? Or are you finding yourself canceling them? Or it could be a family meeting or a church meeting. If that's true, hold the finger up. Here's the third checkpoint. Notice your body. Are you experiencing persistent physical tension or headaches or sleep changes? Here's the fourth checkpoint. Think about your decision making. Are you finding yourself either freezing on decisions or making them too impulsively? So that's number 4. Here's number 5. Look at your energy management. Are you working longer hours but getting less done? That's number 5. And then the final checkpoint is, has your usual self-care routine, whether that's exercise or meditation or morning coffee, has that fallen by the wayside? So that's number 6. Now look at your fingers and notice how many total fingers you're holding up. If you are holding up more than 3 fingers, you are likely moving from healthy stress into a trauma activation. So it's not just regular stress anymore. This is your body and your brain telling you that it's time to implement a tool like the 90-second reset. So the power of this checklist isn't just in the counting, it's in the awareness that it brings. And when you know early warning signs, you can intervene before you reach a crisis point. And that's always the goal. And remember that checklist, the 6 fingers, just takes 60 seconds, but it can save you a lot of time because you can notice in advance when you're not centered, when you're not grounded, when you're not able to be fully present. And awareness is often all it takes to bring us back to center. And the more you do tools like this, like the checklist or the 90-second reset, the more automatically your brain begins to regulate itself. You're not just managing stress, you're actually rewiring your brain for resilience. So it's kind of like upgrading your brain's operating system. Right. I want to talk about the hardest moment for me during Hurricane Helene. It was not when the winds were howling and they were whipping around our house. It wasn't when the power went out for a month. It was the morning that I had to face my community while I was processing my own grief about my brother. So I have 3 brothers. All 3 have died by suicide. One of them died by suicide about a month before the hurricane. Another died by suicide 2 weeks after the hurricane. Like the first day that I got cell phone service, I got the call that he had died. So being in the midst of that and processing my own grief and then serving as trauma chaplain for my community, figuring out how to accompany people, that was hard. It's hard when you're going through your own stuff and you're also accompanying other people. So I want to ask you all, when you are in a leadership position, what is the hardest emotion for you to manage? I want you to just take a moment to identify what that emotion is. For some of you, it might be anger. For others, it might be fear. Maybe it's grief, like it was for me. So name that emotion. Now, here's what neuroscience tells us about these moments. Your brain is actually designed to integrate emotion with decision-making. So they're not opposing forces, they can be partners. I want to share something with you that I discovered during the wake of the hurricane that transformed how I lead. And I call it the morning mental weather report. So every morning before I open my email, before I check my messages, I take 60 seconds to name my emotional weather. So am I experiencing sunny clarity or foggy uncertainty or thunderstorm anxiety? Kind of funny names. The power isn't in naming it, it's in owning it, right? It's being in full contact with whatever emotion is going on for you. Because what most leadership books won't tell you is that your vulnerability is not your weakness, it's your leadership edge. And let me show you why. When you acknowledge your emotional weather, something remarkable happens in your brain. So the amygdala, which is where your emotions are, actually calms down. Your amygdala calms down and it allows your prefrontal cortex here, your decision-making center, to come fully online. So that is a way for you to get present with what is, because oftentimes as women, we'll say to ourselves, we're being too emotional, or I shouldn't make a decision out of emotions. But I don't think that's actually true. I think that when we name our emotions, there's truth in it and there's possibility in it. So using that morning weather report is a beautiful way to start to do that. Okay. So a couple of things that I want you all to think about moving forward. Decision-making under pressure isn't a talent that you're born with. It's a skill that you develop. And every time that you acknowledge your emotional weather while maintaining your leadership presence, you're not just managing a moment, you're modeling the future of leadership. And the reason why this is so important is that these huge events, this natural disaster that we lived through, Hurricane Helene, as well as other global events that are happening right now, our political reality here in the US, these events are speeding up. And it's more and more important for us to find ways to serve as leaders to help other people navigate the way through. So the more we can resource ourselves, the more that we can attend to ourselves, the more we're going to be able to help others to navigate these sometimes life or death situations. All right, any questions?
The reset with the 4 seconds breathing, that can be done in the moment at any time during the crisis, and it helps to refocus the brain and
Yeah,
I'm assuming the energies. Okay. I find
exactly.
that very useful, because that does not even draw attention to yourself. That can be done unobtrusively.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
thank you.
yeah. So thank you so much, Emma, for sharing these tools and talking about the emotional weather. And,
Yeah.
um, everyone experiences crises every day and trauma that lasts for days, weeks, and years. And the, the knowledge we've gained will really be very helpful and empowering. Thank you so much. Um, I now welcome Elizabeth. Are we pausing the recording? Okay. I now welcome Betty Cooper for your to share your story, Betty.
I'm back. Yes, Betty's gonna go next. Betty, just give me a minute to put you in the spotlight. Let me stop recording.